Hi there, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. If you know me, which I know a lot of you don't, I am a huge fan of different cultures and traveling and languages and the arts and seeing those arts in different countries, whatever. I am just huge into it. And so I do travel quite a bit because I love it. I travel alone, sometimes I travel with various friends, and leave my roomie here all alone sad. He's okay with it. So, but when I travel, I like to travel lightly. When I first started, I take the big suitcase and yeah, I don't do that as much anymore just because it's kind of a pain. So what you need to do is find things that you use or are going to use and it's going to be easy to use and they all kind of go together. Like I'll choose a couple pair of shoes that I'll be able to match with, I mostly wear jeans during that time, and then nice blouses and like some kind of coat that's going to match those shoes. And then with makeup, I tend to take the minimal amount that's going to get me by for the week, and that's where we come through with this video. What I want to do was talk about when I went to Austin and San Antonio a couple months back, and I'm finally getting into this video. I tell you, the summer's been busy and I've been so far behind, but basically telling you what I wore and how I felt about it. And it's interesting because I really didn't take a lot. No sir, I did not, just because I really like to keep the suitcase empty, and I think I only took a carry-on, so I kept half of it empty so that I could bring back delicious food from the different, because there's a lot of Mexican culture there, so I wanted some of that to bring back home. So what I'm going to do is tell you what I used, how I felt about it, and would I continue to use it thereafter. So now I'm going to start from the ground up. What I used, and I'll put some of the pictures to the side so you can see my makeup game. Just so you know, it's really hot in Texas. And so I was basically melting away sometimes, and I love the heat. But it gets humid and hot down there. And so I wanted to use something that I felt would help my oily complexion. I have really oily skin. For me, seriously, if a makeup artist put all the best products on my face to stop the shine from coming through, it wouldn't work. Within 30 minutes, you'd have to powder me down again until you had carpal tunnel. It's just the way it is. So I live in a humid area, and so I knew what to expect in Texas, and so I was like, let me try something new to me, and it's Makeup Forever, and it's the matte velvet, because I read online people had really good, they had really good results with it, and so I'm like, I'm gonna give this a try. Now, it's a nice color. It really works quite well for me. It is a little bit on the lighter side, but I have really pale skin anyway. But I'll just show you how it looks here. So it goes on quite smoothly, goes in there nicely. It matches my skin tone quite well. No issues. I'm just wiping the stuff off as I go. So I was like, okay, this is a really good choice. And it went on really nicely, and I was pretty happy with it. Once I actually saw it in the regular light, when I was outside, I realized it is very drying, which is good because it's a matte finish, but the problem was it was so matte for me that it went into my pores and into, I don't have a lot of lines on my face, but I have some here and there, and it basically exacerbated lines that I didn't know I had. And you don't want that with makeup. It's like, I didn't know I had that. Oh, So that was kind of a shocker. So it did unfortunately settle into pores and lines a little bit more than I'm used to with foundation, because I think it was just the matte finish of it settling in. And even with the primer, it didn't really resolve the issue. But I kept trying it, and I'm hoping that it would keep the oil at bay, and it just ended up breaking apart on my face. I think the oil was just so crazy, it broke through the dryness, and then you could see patches of it where it was basically breaking apart. So unfortunately, for me, it didn't work as well as I had hoped, though I've read online that people just absolutely love it, and for some reason it just didn't work for my skin tone. Maybe my skin's just too freakishly oily. So would I repurchase Makeup Forever Matte Velvet? I'm gonna say no, just because it did go into my pores and lines that, like I said, I didn't know I had, and that is not a look I wanted. And I could have excused that more if it didn't break apart, but even with the primer, it broke like a bad sauce at a restaurant. So then, what I used next was the powder. This is Sephora's brand. I think they still have it. And I'll put the colors on the side because some of these are so worn down I can barely read them. So I'm going to have to like really look at this. But I'll tell you the colors that work for my skin tone if you have a similar skin tone. So this broke apart. Yes. And I've heard that people really had a good experience with Sephora brand powder, and so I was really excited to use it, and actually it's really nice. So the consistency is really nice, the color's really nice. I know a lot of people had really good luck with this, especially cutting through the oil, but for me it lasted the same as any other powder does, and it wasn't as matte as I liked. When I stepped out, it was quite nice, but then, you know, within a half an hour it broke through. Now that isn't Sephora's fault. It's just my freakishly oily skin, so I wasn't surprised. So, you know, you can keep this in your purse and fix it up during the day, and I would find myself doing that. But again, sometimes I feel like if you have to be careful with this. If you go in too much, it would lay on the skin and make it look drier than it is, because it would, again, hang in the pores and then like lines that I didn't even know I had. So I guess I do have them. I don't know. I don't normally see it when I'm with certain brands, but I was like, ooh. You know, so it is a good, definitely a great powder, but for me, it's not necessarily the one that I go to over and over. I want to keep my horizons open. I haven't found that one that I absolutely love yet, and though this is an excellent powder, and I'll put the price to the side, and I think it's a decent price, I think I would try something else. But just know to go in with a light hand, because if you go in too much, it is just going to cake onto the skin a little bit more than you want, and nobody wants that. So as far as eyeshadow, you know, I was gonna go to blush. I don't even remember what blush I used, to tell you the truth. I have no freaking idea, so I'm not even gonna review that, because I'm like, I have no clue. It's a good question. But the palette that I used is something that is not here in the US, but you can definitely order from their site, and it is Zoeva. And this is their Naturally Yours palette, and I reviewed this, and you can see that from an earlier review, I think about 6 months ago. And I love this palette. Yes, it is a neutral galore, but you know what? That's why I picked it, because when I'm traveling, I don't want too wild of a palette, because I really don't want to be experimenting with my looks while I'm traveling. You know, I just want something that's easy to throw on and go, because I just don't want to be I'm not high maintenance anyway, but I definitely don't want to do that when I'm traveling, because I want to get as much as I can from the experience of traveling. And so I tend to go for a very easy look and out the door as fast as possible, and you're going to get that with Naturally Yours of Zoeva. I really like this palette. What I love about it is because my eyes do get oily. These guys, that's my kitten, she's going nuts. These guys kept my eyes perfect all day. The oil didn't break through. It looked great 6-7 hours later, even in the blasting humidity of Texas. I do tend to stay out of the sun because, I mean, let's be real here, but even still, you're sweating, it's warm down there, and these guys held up pretty well under some extreme conditions, and I just love this. It's a nice assortment of neutrals, just beautiful. And you can see that I've been using this quite a lot, especially this guy here. I still use it to prep my eye quite a lot, and you can see I have used this palette. This palette has gotten some love, and I just think it's perfect. Yes, I would highly recommend this for somebody who's traveling. It's very thin. Stick it into your purse so it doesn't get smashed, and you are good to go. And you just have a wonderful array of colors to work with for a more dramatic night look and a very easy daytime look. Eyeliner. Yes, eyeliner is so important. And I always use the L'Oreal Precise line eyeliner. Now I know a lot of people like using the brushes and the pots, and I have the stuff to do that, but I haven't done it yet. I don't know why, because I love this so much, and I have 2 more backups of this, and I just love it. There is kind of a learning curve, and what I found with using this, and I have had this in another review, I think it was one of my April favorites, but what I love about this, nice black color, and you can control it really easily. What I find is that at the first swipe, it's easy to move quickly and just go around your eye. the lid as quickly as possible and then build from there, but that's just me. I've known people who tried to use this and they were like, it was too hard. You kind of have one shot to do it. And I'm like, not exactly, but there is a little bit of a learning curve. But once you have it, this is just fabulous. I absolutely love this. It's a wonderful black color. I love it. And I've been using this like forever. I mean, I don't remember a time before this. So I use this everywhere I go. I use it every day. When I travel, I can't live without this. If L'Oreal ever gets rid of it, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try to branch out more and do the pots with the brushes, just because I've never done it. And, you know, maybe I'll find something even more amazing. But until then, love. Mascara is so important. So I have read a lot of good reviews about Roller Lash, and I really like how compact it is, which is perfect when you're traveling. And so I was like, yes, please. So I picked this up before I went, and you know, it's a great little mascara, and it curves a little bit. And the reasoning is it'll put the eyelashes up and curl them. Now, what I like, it depends on the look that you're going for. Because it was an everyday look and travel, I didn't want too crazy of eyelashes, and I'm actually wearing this now. This is a very thin, willowy type of mascara. This isn't like Better Than Sex where it really makes it look thick and full. This isn't the purpose of this. This is to do a light kind of mascara. It's very natural looking. It can be built up to be a little bit more dramatic, but that's not its purpose. And you can see even with the brush, it really is good at separating the lashes quite well, which I like. Now it's supposed to also separate, or not separate the lashes, but curl them up. I'm going to be honest, I didn't find this to be the case, but then again, I have really freakishly long, thick eyelashes, which just lay straight. And so I have to work my eyelashes to get them to go up like this. So it isn't necessarily the fault of this guy, it's just my genetics. So you may have a better time if you have thinner eyelashes of getting them to curl with this product, but I did not find that to be the case for me. So that was a little bit disappointing. It's middle of the road. I think it's $12 to $14, which I normally don't like to spend that much on mascara. You know, I tend to use the drugstore because I don't think there's big of a difference between mascaras. But it's more the brush that you're putting it on with. And sometimes the formula is different. Some will flake more than others, but you know. So this one I don't find flakes very much. That's what I liked about it. Like I said, it's not a dramatic eye look. My cat is killing her little toy mousey. Enjoy. So on to my favorite part, lipstick. I'm a lipstick fanatic, and I didn't want to take too much. Actually, my everyday life, I have a little bag that I take, and it has about 10 different lipsticks in it. I know I have a problem, but when I travel, I didn't want to do that again because I was taking mostly a little small carry-on suitcase and a purse. So I only took 2 lipsticks with me, and one is by Maybelline and one is by Colourpop. No, I'm not going to spend too much time on Colourpop because this is now discontinued. I have this one and I have a backup because I love this color so much. It was called Bijou and it was released last holiday. And I'm just going to put it here. It's like this purpley berry, like it's purple berry color, and it's a matte lipstick. I have never gotten so many compliments off of a lipstick in my life, honestly. Every time I wear this, I have somebody go, God, I love that color. That color looks so great on you. Or I remember I was at the doctor's office once and they're about ready to draw blood, and I hate that. I was like, oh my God. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love your lip color. Where'd you get it? And then I was like, okay, great. So she's drawing it. So it was actually really great because I was focusing on telling her about Colourpop. But I get compliments on this all the time. I still do. This is like my big go-to color during the fall and winter. It's just easy. I keep it on me all the time. You will see it in the pictures of me in Texas. It's just kind of bold and beautiful, but without being distracting. And though it didn't dry down as well as I would like, it fully dried down eventually, but it wasn't the best matte. It's just a gorgeous color. But again, it is discontinued. Lastly, a color that will never be discontinued ever. This is Maybelline On the Mauve. This thing has been around since the beginning of time. I think it's one of their most popular colors and one that I have been using as long as the L'Oreal eyeliner. Really, it is always in my arsenal. Such a beautiful color. Let me just put it here. It's this beautiful light mauve. It's very workable. It's just an easy color to throw on. And yes, it is more cool tone because that's what I am. So both these are very cool tone, but look at that. It's just one of my most favorite colors of all time. And I'm still using one, but this is my backup. And I don't even know why I have a backup because this color has been around forever. I really think it's one of their top sellers, and this is why. It's just absolutely beautiful. And so I can just throw it on really easily and move on. So I wanted to keep it in this berry kind of thing, especially when I was using so many neutrals, that these just went so well together. So I was really happy with my lipstick choice, even though, like I said, Bijou didn't dry down as I would like. I don't care. That color gives me life. I was really happy with my lipstick colors, and you can see them in the picture, these bright like burgundy colors all the time, or these mauve kind of berry colors. And you know, the wear time is pretty good on this one. You know, it is a drugstore brand, but I feel like Maybelline has decent, you know, it's a decent consistency. The formula is really nice. It's not it's not sheer, but it's not the most opaque color, but that's what I love about it, is it's very natural, you know, for a color like this. It's not in your face bright. It's just really nice. It's perfect for like travel, for work, for almost any occasion. If it works on your skin tone, I think it would really work on many different skin tones across the board. I love it. So that was my overview on travel and what I wore this time around. You know, for the most part, a lot of these were things that I've used over and over and will continue to, you know, unfortunately minus the Makeup Forever, which just didn't work with my skin type. It might work for you. Try the Velvet Matte. Maybe it'll work at keeping your oil at bay, but it just did not play well with me. And the Sephora brand powder is absolutely fabulous, but I feel like there may be something better for me out there. And so I am still looking. So if you have suggestions for foundation or powder that you know of that may work for me, please let me know. You know, fair, oily skin. Help me, girls. I'm still trying, and maybe there is no hope. But as far as the Maybelline, because Bijou is, like I said, discontinued, I will always use that. And the L'Oreal, unless the potted eyeliner changes my life, I have 2 more in waiting after this. And the Roller Lash, you know, it's a good product, but I go back to it, I don't know. I think once I'm done with it, even though it is a good product, I think I want to venture and find that one that just makes me go, like the On the Mauve and the L'Oreal Precision Liner. You know, those are my 2. Yes, they're always in my arsenal, and I just feel like the other ones didn't live up to that. As far as Zoeva, I love this one, but again, you know, you can order them. It's a German company. I think it's like $9 to ship over here in the US, so buy quite a few things to make it worth your while. I think it's wonderful, but it is very much a natural, you know, neutral palette. So I probably wouldn't repurchase it. The formula is absolutely fabulous, but I could probably get cheaper palettes here in the US, but I bought a whole bunch of items and I don't regret it because this is absolutely fabulous. So I think for the most part, it was a big success. So I'm going to be traveling here soon, and then if you liked this video, let me know, and until the next one, have a great day. Bye.